Third, and perhaps the riskiest, is that all liens and debts made prior to the debt in default are now the buyer's responsibility. In other words, if the owner defaulted on their second mortgage and your client wins the property, they will also win the responsibility for the first mortgage. If your client fails to pay off the first mortgage, then they have the right to also foreclose on the property, creating a loss to your client. It is the buyer's responsibility to find out about any other liens that are attached to the title. This can include IRS liens, mortgages, mechanics liens, unpaid property taxes, homeowner association dues, and other government tax liens, which will survive the foreclosure sale. Your client must also understand that they will not get a warranty deed at the auction. Instead, they will receive either a sheriff's deed or a trustee's deed. These deeds convey title, but without any warranty or guarantees. What is more, there is no guarantee that the property is vacant. If the original owner or someone else is on the property, the buyer will have to take legal action to get them out. That brings up one more risk: the statutory redemption period. Statutory redemption is a mortgagor or borrower's right to regain ownership of a property that has been foreclosed upon within a certain period. During the redemption period, the new owner cannot move into, possess, renovate, or alter the property unless she is willing to forfeit any money spent. The redemption period varies from state to state. It starts from the auction date and can extend from 10 days in New Jersey to 2 years in 184. /n equals IMG 5270 equals /n Tennessee. The time is also affected depending on whether it was a judicial or non-judicial foreclosure. To get back legal ownership of the property, the original owner will have to pay the buyer the auction price plus interest, which can be up to 24%, and some additional fees. Meanwhile, they or their tenant has the legal right to occupy the property, and they do not have to pay any mortgage, property tax or insurance payments. That is the buyer's responsibility. Do you see now why there is so much risk associated with purchasing auctioned foreclosure properties? This is not for the faint of heart. Because of the added liability, most real estate agents back out of these transactions and let the buyer go at it alone. Now, real estate-owned properties, which are simply called REO, are foreclosure properties that agents will be dealing with quite often. Real estate-owned REOs are foreclosed properties which are owned by banks or lenders. Generally, when a mortgaged property goes up for auction, buyers are competing against the mortgage holder. These lenders want to gain the title of the property so that they can turn around and resell the property to recoup their investment. Banks deal in money, not real estate. So as soon as the redemption period has expired, these lenders will typically list these properties with a real estate broker. Depending on the activity in the real estate market, these properties may be discounted or sold at or near market value. They also typically need a lot of repairs, which the lender will not complete or pay for. The buyer will receive a warranty deed and all past liens will have been cleared off the title. 185. /n equals IMG 5271 /n. Now that you know where to go and look for listings, we are going to assume that your client has chosen a property they are interested in. They want to make an offer, but they are not sure how low of an offer they could submit and get accepted. They do not want to pay too much, but they also do not want to be outbid and lose the deal. This is where you come in as their skilled and trusted buyer's agent. You have basically two different approaches when it comes to determining the purchase price on a listing. The first option is to complete a comparative market analysis, or CMA. Remember that we talked about that when we discussed how to represent a seller. On the seller's side, you will be using listed properties. Now on the buyer's side, you want to figure out not the list price, but the most probable sales price. This means that you will be using solds, not active listings. You will adjust the comparables for inferior and superior characteristics. Once that is completed, you can reconcile the adjusted value of your comparables to determine a suggested purchase price. If you want to review the process in more detail, refer back to page 178.